So obviously most people saw this coming, right? It's not like the Brian Robinson trade came from absolutely nowhere. So we had already been tweaking our rankings. Like yesterday, I had to do a massive update on the site just because we were looking at Austin Eckler moving up. A JCM, obviously, the guy I took in the Flock League, moving up as well, moving Brian Robinson down. And we can't all of a sudden just immediately drop Brian Robinson in our rankings 30 spots based off trade rumors. But when it officially happens, when we get the official word, it's like, oh, okay, now we can have the official fall. We already teased it a bit by moving him down 5 or 6 slots in our running back rankings. But now do we need to be dropping this guy another 10 rankings? So let's go ahead and let's update everything here. I will say y'all probably have already seen the updates if you are members of the site, if you got yourself the season pass. Because if you go ahead and if you look at what we were able to get out this morning, I worked all day yesterday and all morning on this. We got out the 2025 Flock draft sheets. We got the updates for y'all. Of course, if you are drafting in a sleeper league, ESPN league, Yahoo league, an NFL fantasy league, a CBS league, this is what you want to be using. This is what's going to help you dominate your league. And it adjusts to your exact league settings as well. This is why it takes me so damn long to get these out. But this is posted on the site. And if you use the Underdog promo, it's been sent to your email as well. But those have already been updated. So let's go ahead and let's take just a little sneak peek here at how we need to be moving these secondary pieces. Because we already understand, yes, of course, Brian Robinson falls. Yes, of course, JCM moves up. But what about these other guys such as Austin Eckler? Now, let me just pull up our running back rankings first, because running back's going to be the main thing. And you will have noticed that we decided to move Devon Achane behind Derrick Henry, even in our full PPR running back rankings, which obviously, if you go ahead and you use the draft sheets, if you pull up a non-PPR start 7 format, this is sheet 5, which is a non-PPR league. You'll see that I have Derrick Henry here in my rankings at 4 overall. Of course, he's well ahead of Devon Achane in non-PPR. However, full PPR, I would assume that if Achane's good to go, that you should be ranking him ahead of Henry. I was a little bit concerned based off the reports that we had yesterday, centering around the rumors that you potentially had Brian Robinson going to the Miami Dolphins. But now that looks like it's no longer going to be the case, I'll be fine moving Achane back up. And I understand that y'all probably haven't seen the updated rankings page yet. This isn't going to go live for y'all until tonight on flockfantasy.com. There's about to be 1,000 updates that come out, but you're about to be able to pull in whatever you want to see with this rankings page. So we can pull in their age currently. We can pull in their rushing attempts per game from last season. We can go ahead and we can pull in, say, their targets per game last year. We can go ahead and we can pull in as well just their PPR points per game. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Just to get a sense as we are updating these rankings. You'll see that obviously the rookies don't have things loaded in, but it's because the rookies haven't played yet. We have no stats on them other than the prospects page. But I'm going to move Henry down 1 slot lower behind Devon Achane. How we had it previously. Thank God Chase Brown lives. Was a little bit of a concern that Brian Robinson was going to be going over to join Chase Brown. And if we're looking at McCaffrey, am I going to be moving McCaffrey down my running back rankings? No. For me, I think this was more so about the Niners losing all the depth at their running back position. The running back position being absolutely wiped out beyond Christian McCaffrey, and they needed to bring in an RB2. Is this a good thing for McCaffrey? Of course not. But I'm not going to be moving him behind Genty, Achane, or Derrick Henry. If you wanted to do so, by all means, you go for it. But where I will be adjusting him is going to be in the overall rankings. So I do think I'm going to move Amon-Ra St. Brown. And honestly, I think especially now that we have Matthew Stafford back at practice, I'm going to move Puka Nacua ahead of Christian McCaffrey as well. So McCaffrey's still going to be my RB5, but I do think that I want to put, he's still going to be my RB4, but I think I want to put some of those elite wide receivers ahead of him. Now, of course, please, for the love of God, when you're looking at the overall rankings, understand that you need to be making adjustments given your league format. If it's a half PPR, move the running backs up and move the quarterbacks up. If it's a non-PPR, move them way higher. If it's a double flex format, move the tight ends and quarterbacks lower So don't just use the overall rankings on the site. Definitely make the adjustments given your own league format. If you need help with that, like I said, we just spent the past God knows how many hours grinding through these sheets for you. And these are currently posted on the site as well if you need help with adjusting to your format. And if you wanted to get access to everything on the site, just go ahead and get the season pass already. I don't know what else there is to say. It's by far and away the best tool for you to win your fantasy football league this year. And at the same time, it's the cheapest. $34, one-time purchase. You get all the draft sheets from myself, all the draft guides from all the other creators on the site. Plus, you get all of our updated rankings every single week leading up until, all the way until January 1st. Plus, you get trade calculator, trade finder, my team's page, the whole 9 yards. And if you use code FLOCK when you sign up to flockfantasy.com, you will get a free trade question and start sit question for me to be answering as well. Now let's go back over to the running back rankings and let's look at some of these other names. So I don't think any of these guys here in the middle are going to be impacted. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt will be for me. Again, obviously we moved him up dramatically to RB34 in preparation of this potential trade, but I think we're going to be jumping him up. And at this point, I would probably rather have JCM over Joe Mixon, given the fact that we just simply don't know if Mixon is going to play at all this season. But can everybody please spam the chat for me right now? Who would you rather have? Would you rather have JCM or would you rather have Quinshon Judkins at this point? And also, if you have not done so already, please, for the love of God, go down there, drop a like on this live stream. Don't know what you'd be waiting for. And we're going to be streaming every single day until January 1st, or more so until Christmas. So hit the bell next to the subscribe button if you want to be able to come to our streams. But we have JCM, Chris Rodriguez. We're going to have to throw Chris Rodriguez in the rankings. Trust me, I understand that. But it looks like most people would rather have JCM over Judkins as well. So we're going to go ahead and we will update that in our rankings too. I didn't want to just go overboard. Y'all know I drafted JCM. He's on my team. I am super excited to get him for absolutely free at this point where he looks like he's going to be a starting running back. Now, the hesitation that I would have to rank him ahead of like the guys that I know we can start, such as like Aaron Jones, Caleb Johnson, Isaiah Pacheco, Montgomery, Tony Pollard, Chuba Hubbard, is this is still going to be a running back by committee. JCM, in my opinion, is most likely going to be the starting running back in this backfield. I think he's going to have the majority of the work. But Austin Ekeler is still going to be in play. Now, of course, the thing that I need to mention with Austin Ekeler is the dude's extremely old, and we've already seen a fall off, and I think we should expect that it's going to be the case going into the future. So we go ahead, and what we can do real quick is let's just pull up Austin Ekeler with the range of outcomes tool and see what the average 29-year-old running back that comped similarly to Eckler's 29-year-old season dating back to the year 2008 did at 30 years old. You had Pierre Thomas, Rex Burkhead, Melvin Gordon, Giovanni Bernard. I've not heard that name in forever. Reggie Bush. And if we look at the best season that we had from these comparables going into the following year was 11 points per game. So with Ekeler, for me, I don't think I'm going to be putting him that much higher. I think he's very exciting if you're an underdog best ball contest. I would rather have Ekeler over Rachaad White at this point. I think he's in the same tier as Tank Bigsby, Braylon Allen, Trey Benson, Ramondre, Nick Chubb, Austin Ekeler. Hell, I'll put him at a Nick Chubb for y'all if you're playing in a full PPR league. Like I have Nick Chubb in the Flock League. I would trade Nick Chubb for Austin Ekeler at this point. But I also have Braylon Allen, and I would not trade Braylon Allen for Austin Ekeler. I think Ekeler has a higher floor, and he's very interesting in an underdog best ball context. But in terms of just a league where you are submitting starting lineups weekly, I don't think we're that excited. I already had Isaac Grando extremely low in our rankings given the injury and the fact that I don't think he's a super talented back. I'll probably be moving him below like DJ Giddens here. I mean, he's just frankly not draftable, right? Like what we probably need to do is we need to be moving Will Shipley ahead of him for sure. This is an area of my rankings that I definitely need to make sure that we tune up. I need to go ahead and I need to add Ollie Gordon to this as well. So is he already in here? We just need to fly him up these ranks. Let me see. Yeah, he's already in here. We just need to fly him up. Like, I'd rather have Ollie Gordon over Isaac Grando for sure. So I think Isaac Grando is a player that you just go ahead and cut at this point. I mean, I have Kareem Hunt in the Flock League. I'd rather have Kareem Hunt over him. I'd rather have Roshan Johnson over him. I'd rather have Kyle Monangai over him. So let's go ahead and let's update that. I'd rather have Justice Hill. I'd rather have Marshawn Lloyd, even if he's banged up. I'd rather have Jarquez Hunter. I'd rather have Blake Corum. I'd rather have Devin Neal. I'd rather have Brashad Smith. I'd rather have Raheem Mostert. I'd rather have Keaton Mitchell. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, if you have Isaac Grinda, you just go ahead and you cut the dude. Now, if there's anything else to discuss, I guess it would be Chris Rodriguez. Let me see if I don't even think we have Chris Rodriguez loaded into the site. No, he is. I just have to add him to my rankings page. So if I'm looking at Chris Rodriguez, realistically speaking, this is a running back that's going into year 3 of his NFL career, and he's had 3 targets in his entire career. Like, am I excited about him? No. Can you pick him up off the waiver wire? Yes. I would slide him in right around like the Ollie Gordon, Keaton Mitchell, Kareem Hunt range of guys. Like, if you're playing in a deeper format like the Flock League, I can guarantee you Chris Rodriguez is going to get picked up. But if you're playing in like a shallower 10-team league where you only have 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, I'm not going to be that excited about it. Lucas says, where are these tier rankings on the website? So this is actually not live to y'all right now. Hopefully it'll be live to y'all tonight. But we're about to push an update to the rankings where the creators already have it on the create rankings, but also where you can actually use and look at the actual tier list and pull in stats on the tier list as well. So this is coming for you very, very soon. If you got the season pass, don't worry, you're good to go. And I'm super excited to have that as one of the many updates that y'all are about to see on the site. This I'm freaking pumped for. Now, let's see what other things that we have to address with these rankings. So like I said, we already adjusted McCaffrey, not moving him down the running back rankings. Maybe you use the tiebreaker and you go with a couple wide receivers instead. We moved JCM up dramatically. Did we adjust Brian Robinson himself yet? No, we did not. Brian Robinson at this point is just a handcuff running back. Like at this point, I would rather have Ramondre over Brian Robinson. Hell, I'd rather have Rashad White over him. Actually, I would just rather have Rashad White over a lot of these guys. I think we need to move Rashad White up to like RB43. So, I mean, realistically, Brian Robinson versus Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, this is about the range that you're looking at, in my opinion. Can y'all please spam the chat? Who would you rather have this season? Would you rather have Brian Robinson or Nick Chubb on your roster? Matt says, how much does it cost to see a happy PPR tier ranking on Flock? Like I said, everything on the site, I mean, you have a couple different options on the site. You can buy $97 annual Mother Flocker, which gets you access to everything 365 days a year. Plus, you get a free trade question, start set question, and a team review from me. But if you don't play Dynasty or you don't care that much about having a team review and a live stream, I would just recommend doing the $34 season pass. It's going to get you set up with everything. But we got Robinson, Chubb, neither, Robinson, Chubb, Robinson, Chubb, Robinson. I probably agree with y'all as well, just because the ultimate ceiling that you're going to have with Brian Robinson in comparison to Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's maybe a little more likely to hit your starting lineup at the beginning of the year, but ultimately at the end of the day, he's not going to win you a league, right? So let me publish these rankings officially on the site and get those out. I saw another message that we had in the chat saying, like, does this impact Brock Purdy? No. Brian Robinson is not a big enough deal to impact any wide receivers or quarterbacks from the offenses that he is leaving to the offenses he is going to. The only impacts will be to the actual running back rooms in these backfields. But hope you have JCM. I have JCM in the Flock League. My running back room's looking a little bit better right now. And yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Of course, I'm going to be live streaming a couple other times today. I'll be live streaming, looking at teams that were submitted on the site, and I'll be live streaming doing those underdog drafts later tonight. So really hope I get to see you there. Like I said, also, if you already got the season pass, if you want the updated draft sheets, if you have a draft this weekend, or maybe you already did your draft and you just want to see how these guys should be valued for your league format at this point, I just pushed out that update to those. Just go to the left-hand side of the navigation bar here, hit draft guides, and then you can see that we just updated that 2025 Flock draft sheets. So you can find them there. And then also, if you use the Underdog thing, they're sent to your email, so you're good to go. But appreciate y'all, ladies and gentlemen, and I really hope I get to see you out with the live stream later today.